also like a complicated and like weird person. And so I'm like, how, and sometimes my ideas like are totally off into space. And so I have to have people like you and my other like friends are like, no, come down to earth. Like, you see what you're doing there, but come down, hone it in. But yeah, I think I also wanted to like to represent like me as an artist where I like do have like a little bit of edge and a little bit of funkiness. And I kind of wanted to still show that like in the video. I didn't want it to be like totally angelic. And I think that's kind of where I was coming from, but I think you nailed it though with like the downtown scene and the lights. I think that's just all I kind of wanted was like just like this little like moment of like darkness and like what makes you feel like you need to go and I don't know, self-sabotage sometimes. But
how do you deal with your darkness?
Sometimes I don't deal with it and sometimes I do, but I'm learning how to deal with it. A lot of it is there's a lot of things I've been doing lately. Therapy. And I realize like there's things that make me feel humbled. Like I'm from Hawaii. I grew up in Hawaii, and I surf. And so like when I'm surrounded by things that are bigger than me, like when I'm out on the water surfing, I'm in that territory. Like I'm off land. Like this isn't my territory, you know? And like you have to read the waves, you have to be conscious, you have to be present. And if you don't, then you could really hurt yourself. You could hurt others. It's like I kind of just take that as like a metaphor of life. Like I try to surround myself in environments where that's bigger than me, where it humbles me. And then I realize like, okay, things aren't that bad. You know, like be grateful. And it's easier said than done. I think some people struggle with like a chemical imbalance in their brains and their chemistry and their bodies where sometimes you really don't have control of like those thoughts. But I just always like the best thing to do is like literally just get out of bed and like just force yourself to get out of bed. And like that's just kind of how I deal with the darkness. Or I call up a friend and I go, hey, do you want to go to Jones in Hollywood and drink martinis? So there's two ways, you know, you just hope for the best.
You know, give me the truth. Give me the real, like
Yeah.
I like the martini.
The martinis work.
I bet you do that way more than
But then you wake up the next morning.
Afternoon.
And the darkness is even darker. So I think I struggle with balance. But at the same time, I think I'm okay with it because like I'd rather have, you know, like if in the moment I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Let's go get pizza and drink martinis. You know, or like that's what I felt like doing at the time. And I'm not going to hold myself back or like be hard on myself. You know, I think being hard on yourself and trying to be perfect is just that works for some people, but it doesn't work for me. Like I just do what I feel like doing when I want to do it kind of thing. And it gets me in trouble with myself sometimes.
And I bet with other people.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you know, but then you get like, then you end up going to like a house party late at night and you like have the best time of your life and have so much fun. And then you get inspiration and you write a song.
And then you wake up in a mansion.
You wake up in a mansion. And then
So tell me about that song,
Oh,
the Wake Up in the
no.
Mansion. Tell me the story behind that
I'll
song.
tell you the PG story.
No, well, fuck that.
PG-13.
No, R-rated story. This is like we have no censorship here. You can curse, you can talk about sex, drugs, alcohol,
Okay.
whatever.
Okay, we're switching up the vibe. Perfect. Oops.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wrote that song when I was like 22, I think, and I was wild in my 20s.
How wild.
Uh, sorry, mom and dad. I don't know, just like to have fun. Like me and all my girls like had fun. Like we went clubbing. I lived on Oahu. I went to University of Hawaii at Manoa. I was in music school. Everyone, I was during the day. I was this like music kid, had to be like proper and stuff. And then at night, I was like at the bars, drinking with my friends and like also gigging too, and like that's a whole nother life. And so anyways, that night me and my girlfriends all went out to a club and we met these guys from New York and we're all Hawaii girls. Like we don't meet New York guys in Hawaii like that often. So we're like, this is fun. And they're like, I think one of the guys' parents own like Swiss Army knives or something. I don't know. And that was like the first time like meeting people and going, oh yeah, like that's crazy. Like people are rich. Like then you move to LA, it's like everyone's parents like own something. Like, oh, I own the store. Like my parents own the storage units. Like we're bajillionaires. Like, but we're not used to hearing that like from Hawaii. Anyways, so they're like, come to our house up in the I forget where it was, like on the east side of the islands, like up on the hills and stuff. And we've never been up there. We can't go up there. So we're like, let's go. And me and like 10 of us girls go with these like dudes, nice guys. They're good guys. But we go up there, we're partying up in their mansion. And all the girl, I don't even know if I want to tell the world this. Whatever. All the girls leave and I'm like, I'm staying. Okay, and there's one thing you need to know about me. I'll be the last person at a party. Like there's something wrong with me, I think. I'll be the last person there, but I'm getting better at that. So I was like, you girls leave, I'm having fun. And then the next day, oh yeah, I graduated college at this point because I worked at this breakfast spot. I was serving tables at this breakfast spot in Chinatown, downtown. And I had to work a morning shift at like 7:30 a.m. Why did I go out the night before? I don't know. And so I wake up in this mansion. And and that's all I'm gonna say. And I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I have to be at work. And I look at my phone and I'm like, it's 9:30 and I have to be at work at 7:30. And I'm like, crap, I need to call my manager. And I call him and I'm like, I'm so sorry. And at that time, he was just like, typical Sierra. Like, of course. But like, it's so funny. Like everyone is always like typical Sierra, but everyone, not to toot my own horn, but everyone just loves me. So like, I think I take advantage of that and like didn't get fired, thankfully. But he's like, whatever, just come in. Actually, I was working at double that day. He's like, are you going to make it to your night shift? And I was like, yes. And so luckily I didn't get fired, but I'd like call the girls and I was like, dude, can you guys come and get me? Why'd you guys leave me? They're like, I don't know, Sierra, like you were like fine. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I go into the kitchen, like one of the guys were there. He's like, do you want me to make you some steak and eggs? And then I was like, sure. And then like we make some mimosas and then we're hanging out the pool early in the morning. And like, I'm like, I could get used to this. And I don't know, I was just like so inspired by that night and just like
you were inspired.
I was inspired by like the rich, like the madness of like these guys are just like acted like nothing, you know? Like they're just like, yeah, this is our mansion. Don't worry, like this is just our lives. And I was like, could you imagine like just casually having that life? And so I just was inspired by that. Like, what if, like I woke up in a mansion and no one knew my name, but like, and I don't feel the same because like, forget my old life. Like, this is nice. I might stay here. My friends like, Sierra, get in the car. Let's go.
That's hilarious.
But yeah. And, but like so I wrote the song after that. And then, we like revamped it like a year ago. Me and Tim, we rewrote the lyrics a little bit because now I'm 30, like in my early 30s. So I was like,
Mhm.
I have to like kind of change it up a bit because I've evolved from that time, I think, and I hope.
Nice, bigger and better mansions in
Yeah,
Hollywood.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's funny.
I
To me,
know.
I had never had any crazy party story. I'm a really quiet
I can tell.
person. Yeah,
Yeah. But that's how
I
you get stuff done.
yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I think at some point, I think it's the alcohol because I don't drink. I
Mm.
don't get to
Yeah.
do any rowdy things.
Yeah.
If I drank a little bit, then it'll be very dangerous because I
Totally.
have a really good imagination.
Right. So what then? You're like, yeah, you'd be like drinking and like, you'd probably throw like the craziest parties.
Yes, I would. I
Yeah.
think in me at some point we're gonna have to do some kind of crazy parties.
I know we should throw like a music video release party.
That sounds really good.
That could be
You need to
fun.
bring 10 girls from Hawaii
Yeah,
and we
that's
need a mansion.
not a problem. Hey, can we get a mansion? Can someone
Yeah.
just give me a record deal so we can get a mansion?